Hello friends, let's crack together just in first attempt. I have cleared my Maharashtra Set 2020 exam and UGC NET 2020 exam just in first attempt because I have used special strategies for this. I will share this my strategy with you in next upcoming videos. Here we are going to discuss the analysis and solution for the Maharashtra Set exam which was held on 26 September 2021. Okay, here Computer Science and Application Paper 2 Set C is going to be discussed. Question 1 will be discussed at the last. Okay, so here's question 2 is what is the most appropriate description for the term confidentiality? So here first is a set of rules to limit access to data. These are nothing but the IT rules 2009, not a confidentiality. Second is the definition of data integrity. Third is a guarantee of reliable access to the data by authorized person. This is nothing but the confidentiality. And fourth is nothing but the definition of authentication. So option C is correct for question number 2. Question number 3. Which of the following is not a valid kernel data structure in Linux? Now first option, file descriptor table. It is nothing but it allocated for the per process. Identifies all open files for a process. So it is valid. Second is file table, which consists of entries about all the files in the system. And third is inode table. These three are the valid kernel data structure, but option 4 is sector table, which is not a valid data structure in Linux. So option D is correct for question number 3. Next question is question number 4. Here question is what is the most appropriate purpose of nice command in Linux? Now nice and renice commands are used for priority setup. Okay, so here priority is level of process is set in answer option number 3, that is answer C. Now C is the correct option for question number 4. Now we discuss another options. Which command send real time messages among the users? Nothing but all command, send command or write command. Next is check the status of the memory. For this purpose free command proc or meminfo, vm stat, top, stop, these commands are useful, which are also useful in option number 4. So option C is correct for question number 4. Question number 5. What is question number 5 here? A 32-bit x86 system with Windows operating system will have GB as a theoretical maximum size of the virtual address space. Now to 32-bit x86 system. For this, how much bits? 32. 2 raised to 32 is nothing but 4 GB. So answer is 4. Option A is correct for question number 5. Question number 6, which is related to the deadlock. Process are given, resources are given, and we have to find are there any process deadlock. This is very simple question. Here we have given that, okay, processes A to G and resources R to W. Okay, now first draw the wait for graph. What is this wait for graph? It is used to check whether that processes are deadlocked or not. And resource allocation graph is used for this wait for graph is used in single instance, and resource allocation graph is used in multiple resources of the or multiple instances of the resources. Now we have to check process is deadlocked or not. So use wait for graph. How to use it? Just draw the processes here A, B, C, D, E, F, because we have given 7 process A to G. Now first process A holds R and wants T. Now A wants T. Then check which process holds T. Here E holds T. Means whatever resource is required or requested by the A is held by the E. That means A is waiting for E to release these resources. Okay, so A is waiting for E to release the resource T. Again, second, B holds nothing but wants T. Now T is held by E, so B is waiting for E to release the resource E. Next, C holds nothing but wants S. Now check which process holds S. Here no one process holds S, means C is not waiting for another process to release any resources. Now D, D holds U and wants S and T. Now S and T. S is not held by any process. T is held by E. So here D is waiting for E to release the resource T. Next, E holds T and wants V. Okay, check which process holds this V. Here G holds V. Means E is waiting for G to release this resource V. So E is waiting for G. Next, F holds W and wants S. Now check, S is not held by anyone. So F is not waiting for anyone. Last, G holds V and wants U. Now check which process holds U. Here D holds U. That means this G is waiting for D to release this U. Means G is waiting for D. Means here A is waiting for E is waiting for G, G is waiting for D, D is waiting for E. Now check whether there is a cycle present in this wait for graph. Yes, cycle is present in between these three processes D, E, G. So there is a deadlock in process D, E, G. So for question number 6, option C is correct. Yes, there is a deadlock between which process? D, E, G. Okay. Next question, question number 7. This is the PYQ of UGC NET August 2016. Question is what? An operating system crashes on the average once in 30 days. Okay. Average once in 30 days, that means mean time between the failures is 30 days. When this happens, it takes 10 minutes to recover the operating system. That is, the mean time to repair is 10 minutes. The availability of the OS with this reliability figure is approximately what? Here we have given 30 days. Means first we have to find it in minutes, because here MTTR is also in minutes. So mean time between failures is equals to 30 days. Means 30 into 24 days into 60 minutes. Now MTTR is 10 minutes. Okay, so time fraction, we have to find time fraction. Time fraction means MTTR divided by mean time between failures, which is equals to 10 divided by 30 into 24 into 60 into 100. Now after solving, this value is 0.023%. Okay. Now just we have to find what is the availability of the operating system with these reliability figures approximately. Just 100 minus 0.023. Answer is 99.97%. This is very simple. As this is PYQ, I will suggest to always keep with you one notebook which consists only PYQs from the UGC NET exams, SET exams and GATE exams. It will help you 90% to crack the exam just in first attempt. I use same strategy. Next question, question number 8. Now this question number 8 is also a PYQ, UGC NET January 2017. Consider a disk queue with input-output request on the following cylinders in their arriving orders. Order is given. Okay, cylinders request. The disk head is assumed to be at cylinder number 23 and moving in the direction of decreasing number of cylinders. Total number of cylinders in the disk are 150. The disk head movement using scan scheduling algorithm is. There are disk scheduling algorithms, okay, like scan, C-scan, next is a loop and C-loop. These are the 4 disk scheduling algorithms, and in every exam, like in UGC NET exam 2020, also there is a question on these algorithms, disk scheduling algorithms. Must prepare these 4 algorithms. Very simple. I will explain here. Okay. There are 4 algorithms: scan, C-scan, loop and C-loop. Now, according to the scan here, these are the requests: cylinder request 6, 10, 12. Just use one scale, then put these request numbers on this in ascending order. Okay, we have given that there are 150 requests. 150 scale is used here. That is, total number of the disk is 150. 150 means what? 0 to 149. We have draw here 0 to 149. Here disk head is at the 23 number. Okay. Now according to the scan, if they are mentioning here go to the increasing number, then we can go this side. But they mention us that this movement is decreasing number, towards decreasing numbers. So this is direction. If increasing number, then this direction, and if decreasing number, this direction. So from 23, according to the decreasing numbers, using scan algorithm, this movement is done up to 0. 0 means what? We can do like this: 23 minus 53. Here what? 8. Okay. Now 15 minus 12 is 3. 12 minus 10 is 2. 10 minus 6 is 4. 6 minus 0 is 6. Now what is this sum? 8 plus 3 plus 2 plus 6. What is this? This sum is equals to 23. But shortcut trick is what? Just avoid this calculation. Direct 23 minus 0. Here is also sum is 23 and 23 minus 0 is 23. So short trick is what? If this move from 23 to 0, then 23 minus 0. Here is 23 minus 0. Answer is 23. Now remaining request. This will come to 0 and again remaining request up to 128. Okay. Scan does not touches both the ends. In C scan is a circular. If this is circular, this way, this is scan. Scan means just touch one end. Here 23 minus 0, then it will move to the remaining request. Now in remaining request, what is this? This is 128. And like this we can do for this also. But short trick is what? This is starting point, this is ending point between these requests. 128 minus 0. Therefore 128 minus 0. So answer is 128. So 23 plus 128 is what? 151. So option C is the correct option of question number 8. Next, question number 9. What is question? The specific editor has a 200K of program text, 15K of initial stack, 15K of initialized data, and 70K of bootstrap code. If 5 editors are started simultaneously and shared text is used, how much physical memory will be needed? Means if they started simultaneously, these 5 editors and shared text is used, means what? Just add these values or memory. Okay, 200 plus 15 plus 50 plus 70. Option is 335K. Okay, so option B is correct for question number 9 here. Next, question number 10. The read system call returns. We know all about this. Read system call returns what? Total number of bytes read. Okay, so option A is correct for 10 number question. Next question, question number 11. For question number 11, in software development process, which is based on iterative incremental delivery as a response to changing and emergent requirements. What is iterative incremental model? In iterative incremental model, when the first iteration is done, whatever the result is come, it is forwarded for the iteration 2. So option A is correct, agile development model for question number 11. Next, question number 12. What is question number 12? What are the 4 framework activities found in the extreme programming process model? Now, for this extreme process model, there are 4 activities are found. That is planning, design, coding, and testing. So option D is correct for the question number 12. Next, question number 13. What is question number 13? A report generation algorithm application prepares required reports. Okay, from the data gathered from the database. Even though the application provides required output for the given input, customer rejected the application. What may be the most appropriate reason for this rejection? Now, option is failure to meet functional requirement. If this prepares required reports from the data gathered, means it meets functional requirements. Third option is failure to meet verification of output. Here is this application provides required output for given input, means as input is correct, output is correct. So it meets verification and also validation. So why customer rejected the application? So option B is correct here, failure to meet non-functional requirements. So option B is correct for question number 13. Question number 14. Which of the following software architecture is prone to single point of failure vulnerability? What is single point of failure? Single point of failure means if any one point is failed, then entire system fails working, stop working. That is, that system stop their working. So option C is correct here, service oriented architectures, for question number 14. Question number 15. Vocabulary of a program is defined as. What is vocabulary of a program? According to the Halstead's theory, computer program is nothing but it is collection of the tokens. Okay. Now what is token? We have learned in PCS. Okay. Program is a collection of tokens, and these tokens are either operators or operands. Means what? Either operators. Now count of the operator, we let it is n1 and this is for n2. n1 is here count of all the unique operators, and n2 means what? Count of all the unique operands. So n means vocabulary. Vocabulary is nothing but number of unique tokens used to build a program. How many numbers? Either n1, n2. This is plus means or n1 or n2. Either operators or operands are used as a unique tokens in a program, which is called as a vocabulary of a program. So option A is correct here. N is equals to n1 plus n2. Either n1, either n2. Either n1 or n2. Next, question number 16. Which model assumes that effort and development time are function of the product size alone? Okay, what is effort and development time? In our software testing video, we have learned that using basic COCOMO model, we can find efforts is equals to A KLOC raised to B, and development time T is equals to C into efforts raised to D. These two formulas are used to find the efforts and development time. Now in basic COCOMO model, these efforts and time can be found. In detailed COCOMO, we can find efforts. The intermediate COCOMO, cost can be found. And this COCOMO model means what? Group of all these. So option A is correct here. Basic COCOMO model assumes that efforts and development time are functions of product size alone. Now 17 number question. What is 17 number question? During the change control process, which of the following activities are required to be initiated? In this question, what is change control process? Change control means what? Whenever any new or different changes are requested to the system, especially by stakeholders, it is neither optional nor ignorable. So implement this without affecting the other components of the system. There are steps in change control process. What are that steps? First is plan. Next is assess or analyze. Next is review or approval. Okay. Next, build or test. And what is last? Implement. Finally is close. Using all these steps, for question number 17, option A is correct. Means all the options are correct here. All the activities are required to be initiated. Question number 18. What is basic path testing is? Basic path testing I have very well explained in my video. What is system testing with PIVQ? Just check that video. Here options are white box, black box, both, neither. Now basic path testing is nothing but in this testing, control structure of the program is tested or software is tested. Now to check the control structure, this is an internal part, and internal part is required to be tested in just white box testing because it is a transparent which is done by the developers or testers. Now black box means what? Everything is black. Black box means internal part is not required to be tested. It is done at the end point. So option A is correct for the question number 18. Question number 19. For question number 19, just check my video software testing. Okay. In that video, I have explained each type of the testing very well, and in that video, I have told this is the most important question for both UGC NET exam and Maharashtra SET exam, and this is come here. The test conducted to ensure that due to addition of the module, software do not unintended behavior or extra errors are not added is known as, means after the addition of the modules to check whether any errors will occur or not to test the module, means after the modification to test the module, it is done only in regression testing. Okay, regression testing. Here smoke testing. What is smoke testing? Whether the deployed software build is stable or not, that is smoke testing. Performance testing means what? To test the speed, response time, stability, reliability, scalability of the system. Stress testing means to test whether that system will work reliable under the stress, or torture testing, stability critical. Okay, so option B is correct for question number 19. Question number 20. Which amongst the following statements are not true for quality assurance? Okay, what is quality assurance? It aims to prevent the defects. Second, quality assurance is a reactive measure. Wrong. Quality control is a reactive measure. Okay, this is wrong. Quality assurance manages the quality validation. This is also wrong. Validation activity is done in quality control. In quality assurance, quality verification is done. Okay, and quality control is a reactive model, and quality assurance is a proactive in a model, proactive in a process. Fourth is quality assurance covers full development life cycle. This is true. So option D is correct. We have to check, not true. Here 1 and 4 option is correct. 1 and 4 is correct, but 2 and 3 are not true, and we have to select not true. So option D is correct for question number 20. Next is question number 21. For question number 21, we have to find the prefix form of this expression. This is very simple question. Just draw the prefix, draw the tree notation here for the expression given. Here, according to this expression, there are two parts. This one is part and this one is part. In between, there is a multiplication. So this is the tree structure for this the given expression. This is left part of the star and this is right part. So according to this, in expression, according to the Bodmer's rule, okay, what is Bodmer's rule? First is division happens. So here is B divide C, then A minus this expression, A minus B divide C, like this right part. So to find the prefix of this, prefix means what? Prefix. Root is first, left, right. So root is first, star. So here is star is first, means star. Then take a left part, left. So this part, in this left part, again go to the, use this notation, root first. So minus. Then again left, A. Then what? Right. Now in right, again root first, then left, then right here. So it is completed here. Now root is completed, left is completed, go to the right. In right again, root first means minus, left. Here left means this part. In this part, root left right means divide A, K. Then this root is completed, left is completed, and last right. So here star, which option matching here? Star minus A divide BC minus divide AKL. This is matched with option C. So Option C is correct for question number 21, which is very simple question. Question number 22. Now, if anyone have a basics clear, then this question is very simple. Which of these base describes an array? This is straightforward definition for the array. So option B is correct here. First is tree definition. Okay. Option B says that array is nothing but the container of the objects of the similar type. These mixed type or heterogeneous types can be contained in list or sets or hash sets. The data type structures are used for that. But here option B is correct for question number 22. Question number 23. What is there? Which of the following application makes use of the circular linked list? Now, first is undo operation in a text editor. Stack is used there. Recursive function call. Stack is used here. Expression evaluation. We know that for prefix, postfix and infix, stack is used. So option B is correct here. Allocating CPU to the resources. Now, allocating CPU to resources means in round robin algorithm we have known that there is a quantum time and there is a circular function. First, processes are allocated according to the time quantum, and after for the remaining burst times they are again allocated for the CPU. That is, for a round robin algorithm allocating CPU to the resources, this circular linked list is used. That is, option B is correct for question number 23. Question number 24. AVL tree is used. What is AVL tree? We know that it is a height balance tree. Means both the heights left and right should be same. This is, if this is a child, this is not correct here. This up to this figure is correct for this AVL tree. Okay. Now AVL tree is a height balance tree. This is left skewed. Okay. So to avoid this is not a AVL tree. Option C is correct here. To avoid the formation of a skew trees, AVL tree is used best. So option C is correct here. Question number 25. This is the most simple question in this exam. The basic operation on sets are. What are the basic operations on set? Nothing but union, intersection, difference and subset. Here, these are the basic operations of the set. Push and pop are the operations of stack. Insert, delete, queue. Okay. Traversing, merging, these are the nothing but operations, known operations of the set. Your option C is correct for the question number 25.